login? Yeah, okay. Let's start the session, guys. Everyone. So do you all remember what we covered in the last session? Can somebody quickly tell me what we did in the previous session?
Reading comprehension.
Reading comprehension. So have you all understood the difference or how to identify the main idea from the topic statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't right? So today we're going to do a little more about reading comprehension, okay, in depth. So I want everyone to be participatory, okay. So let me share the presentation with you. Is it visible, guys? Okay. So by the end of the session, these are the different topics that we're going to handle today, okay. So you'll be able to understand the differences, or you can say you'll be able to distinguish between topic and main idea. Now that you know how to identify the topic statement, from the topic statement, you're able to identify the main idea and get a topic or a title for the main idea. But how do they actually related, or what are the differences? Let's find it out in today's session. And then you should be able to identify the tone and the purpose of the author. We have beautiful slides coming up, so I want you guys to be more engaging today, okay. And then you should be able to identify various types of passages. Now we know that there's a para and a group of paragraphs is one big passage. Now these passages, you have different varieties. That's what we're going to do in today's session. And how are these passages structured? How is the text placed? In what structure does the author follow? That's one thing we're going to do. And we'll have a quick overview of all the types of RC questions. We're not going to discuss in detail these RC question types, but these we'll practice the coming week. Okay, so hope I'm clear with all the learning outcomes today. So, and I'm going to launch a quick poll here, guys. Just answer this quick 1 minute poll, like a quick revision, okay? Sorry. Yeah, you can answer this. A group of sentences that focuses on a single idea. Is it called a paragraph or a passage? The sentence that tells what a paragraph is about. Is it a supporting statement or a topic statement? The sentence that explains the main idea is called. Is it a supporting statement or a topic statement? Just 1 minute. I want everyone to answer this because it's a part of your continuous assessment. What happened? I see only 73 students. Is there any problem with the GLearn, guys? Can you quickly confirm? Do we have students from CSE 9? CSE 9. Do we have students from CSE 9?
Yes, ma'am.
And CSE 11? CSE 11. Can
Yes,
somebody? So why do we have very limited strength? I think it should be put together both the sections.
Somebody want to?
What is it, dear? What happened? Why this very limited strength today? Is there any problem? Is there any technical issue? What exactly is it? The CRs?
No idea, ma'am.
No idea. Can you please find out the CRs? Can you please find out, dear?
Somebody not pay the money, ma'am. Fee.
Fee. Okay. Got it. Okay.
They blocked
Right.
her.
Okay, so they do not get an access to attend the class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let me end the poll here and quickly discuss this. Okay. So a group of sentences that focuses on a single idea is a paragraph. That's what we discussed in the previous session. So one paragraph conveys only one idea. Okay. The sentence that tells what a paragraph is about is called the topic statement, not the supporting statement. Majority of you gave the wrong answer. The topic statement gives you the main idea about the paragraph, and the sentence that explains the main idea is called a supporting statement. So main idea is explained, main idea is given by the topic statement, and it is explained further with lots of examples by the supporting statement. Thank you so much for your wonderful participation. Let's quickly switch on to the next topic for today. Okay. Now I say that comprehension is a conversation between the reader and the text. Okay, so who is going to participate with me for the next slide? Are there volunteers here? You come up before I call out your names. It's better you come up so that we can save some time. Who is going to do the next two slides? Very interesting slides, easy slides in fact. Come on, guys. Who wants to participate in the discussion? No one? Diksha Reddy, are you there, dear? 11022, Diksha Reddy. Diksha, can you please unmute and talk to me? Diksha, Manikanta?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Diksha.
Diksha, can you see this? Sorry?
I was just saying I'm here.
Okay, right, Diksha. So you can look at the screen, okay? So I say that comprehension is a conversation between the reader and the text. Now, Diksha, you're talking to me, right? Okay,
Yes.
You're conversing with me, right? When you read a piece of text, okay, you don't, if you really, pay attention, it's like you're interacting with the reader. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So comprehension helps you to converse with the reader because you can't see the reader, but you can read what he has written. So the whole class, we're going to see how we interact with the author. Okay. Now, Diksha, I really need your help here. So, guys, we're going to take Diksha's help to understand the differences, or not the differences, you can say exactly what topic is and what main idea is. Does a topic have only one main idea, or every main idea is only one topic? Let's understand that relationship with this example. Diksha, read it out to you.
Topic versus main idea. Topic immigration.
So read the statement, dear.
The continued flow of immigrants into the United States has created a rich, diverse society that has been beneficial to the country.
Okay, next.
The presence of guest workers from South America in states like Arizona and California has a positive effect on the US economy.
Guys, please pay attention. This is a very nice example.
Because the country is suffering from high unemployment, we must reduce the number of people who come here looking for jobs.
Okay. Now, Diksha, you understand this, the topic is immigration. When you look at these three statements, can we name all the three statements with the topic immigration? All three, there are three different ideas, the three different main ideas, okay? Now,
Yes.
for all the three main ideas, I can name them as immigration because more or less we're talking about immigration here, right? Got it, Diksha? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
you tell me, but in the first statement, what was the main focus here? I can name it as immigration, but there's a main idea in the first statement. What is the author actually trying to convey? You can
Ma'am,
type in
that
your
the
answers in the chat box. What is it trying to?
It was beneficial to the country because like there was a diversity in the people because of the flow of the immigrants from the other countries.
Okay. So is he supporting the idea of immigration here? Is the author supporting the idea of immigration?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So its tone sounds little positive here. Okay. What about the second statement?
Ma'am, it
Anyone
shows
can answer.
effect on the economy, ma'am.
So is it positive here too? Yes or no?
Ma'am, sorry, I didn't get you.
Is it a positive tone? Does the author sound positive? Does he support
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
immigration?
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Third
Yes.
one.
Ma'am, he doesn't support it because he says because of it, there's high unemployment. So we should
So
reduce the number of people
so he
who.
doesn't want immigration to happen, right?
Yeah.
Now, see, there are three different statements, three different main ideas. Please pay attention here, guys. Okay, there are three different main ideas. But for all the three main ideas, I can put the title as immigration, which is quite acceptable. Okay. Now, you all have to understand that when you're doing these reading comprehensions in competitive exams, just looking at the title, don't go with an assumption. Okay, this could be this. The author maybe may write about this. Okay, the main idea may vary from passage to passage. Under the same topic, same title, you may have different main ideas. Okay, let's do a quick example here, guys. I want you to interact with me here. So let's start with Diksha. I want two more participants. Diksha, imagine I give you a title as donut. Donut. Do you eat donuts? Do you eat donuts, Diksha?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So Diksha, if I tell you, Diksha, what would you write?
Ma'am,
I
I have
want
some
other.
issues. I cannot hear you properly.
Okay. If is that problem from my end, guys? What about others? Am I audible to others?
Yes,
Others,
ma'am.
please.
Breaking in between.
Okay,
It's kind of fumbling in the between, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is that my network connectivity problem?
I guess so, ma'am. Yeah.
I can't help it. I'm at college. Okay, I'll try my best. Okay, let's try to put the words together. Okay, I'll try my best. So, tell me, Diksha, what would you write about donuts? And I want some responses for others as well. What would you write if I give the title donut? What would Diksha write? What would you write? And others can type in your answers in the chat box.
I'd write about the flavors and like maybe how it's made.
Okay, the process of making a donut and different.
And
Okay.
all available and the main like we have shops and all, so maybe I could write about that also, like Dunkin' Donuts and all.
Only one paragraph. I want only one main idea. If I give you only one chance to write only one paragraph, one idea. So what would that
Then
be?
maybe introduction and something about the process.
About the process.
start
Now,
with, yeah.
yeah. Is there any other idea from others? What else can we write about a donut? Some innovative ideas. Come on, guys. Think. You give me one more idea, Diksha.
I'm thinking.
Sharath, are you there? 11003. Sharath. Sharath, guys, be active. We have lots of examples today and I want a lot of responses. It should be both ways. We should communicate, okay? Madhavi, Sharath, can you please respond? Sharath and Madhavi. 11005, 11003, and Nikhil. Who's this? Your voice is breaking, dear. Nikhil, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Nikhil, if I asked you to write about donut, what would you write? Can we write about donut sales in a particular region? Okay, as Diksha mentioned, the process of donuts. Probably somebody else can write about the effects on health. Eating too many donuts, what kind of impact you have on the health. See, these are different main ideas. When I'm talking about these ideas, these are little paragraphs with the same title, donuts. Similarly, immigration. So let's have a quick example, one more example to understand topic and main idea. All right. So let's do this. Climate change or global warming. Okay. So I will read out the statements. You type in your answers in the chat box. Most scientists agree the temperatures now are warmer than they were 20 years ago. That's one statement. It is hard to draw any definite conclusions that have considered whether climate change is occurring or not. Okay, and getting warmer over the last several thousand years, not just the last 50 years. Okay, now so there are again three different ideas. Now, can you tell me what is the author's intention here in the first statement? What is the author trying to do here? What is the author trying to do here? Hurry up, guys, tell me. I think there's some problem with the network connectivity. Give me a moment, guys. I'll just connect to my hotspot. Can somebody respond? Diksha,
Yes, ma'am.
what happened? So everybody is quiet. Why is everyone quiet? Okay, these are the three statements again. So in the first statement, the author is telling there is a rise in the temperature. And the second one, he says there's no definite conclusion there is a rise in the temperature. We do not know the reason. And third main idea, he said that the temperature rise is not it's not a recent thing that happened, but it started several thousands of years ago. Okay, so guys, please text me if there is any problem with the connectivity, if you're not able to listen to me properly. Okay, I'll try to reconnect. Now coming to the author's tone. Okay, so who's going to be active here? Diksha, other than you? Nikhil, are you there? Nikhil? Nikhil?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Nikhil, can you
I'm
please
ready, ma'am.
help me? Because I need somebody to talk to me. These slides, I know like most of them are not responding, so I'll have to remove them. I'll call their names and I'll have to remove them. They don't respond. So Nikhil, I'm talking to you, right? Are you able to hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what can
I'm
you say
breaking,
about my
ma'am.
tone?
Net is,
What can
ma'am,
you say about
I'm
my
breaking,
tone?
ma'am. My net is slow. Hello, ma'am.
Your net is slow. Okay,
Ma'am.
okay, no worries, no problem. Diksha, how about yours?
Ma'am, fine, ma'am.
Fine, okay. Diksha, I think we don't have too many participants today. Everybody is kind of sounding very low, okay, or it could be a problem from my end as well. I'm not sure, dear. So I'll
Most
try
of
my
the
best.
people are in college, so the internet it's not that good there. So maybe they're facing issues.
So how about just connecting to one system and then, you know, all of them together, like probably 5 to 6 students or something like that? Can you take help of the,
And most
you know,
of them, they're not in the
Wi-Fi?
classes. Like they're not sitting in the class. So
Oh,
maybe.
they're supposed to sit in the class. So they should let your class representatives know that if you are the CR, you also let people know that. Next time, I gave this instruction for all the campuses. During my class, one of you should turn on the video and I want to see all the students sitting in the classroom. Okay, please pass this message to your CR. Nobody is
ma'am.
going out of the classroom, even during the verbal aptitude or quantitative aptitude classes. They're supposed to sit in the classroom and you have to turn on the video. One of the students will have to turn on the video so that I can see the whole classroom. Okay, so they're moving here, and so there's a lot of fluctuation in the internet connectivity, obviously, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
Diksha, tell me, dear. So, I'm talking to you. You're able to understand my tone, right? So, what
Yes.
can you say my tone is like? Can you say something about my tone? How do I sound? I want answers in the chat box. You tell me, talk something about my tone. Can you identify my tone?
Ma'am, looks like you have a lot of patience. And
Okay, that's good. Okay.
yeah. And you want us to actually understand.
Okay.
And obviously, you're very confident for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Diksha. And I got more or less a similar response from Saran also. Saran, say if at all your audio is working, you can turn on your audio and just talk to me. Okay, we have a lot of slides where we just need to interact. Okay, that's because Diksha is talking to me. She's able to interact with me. She's able to hear my voice. She's understanding my tone, whether I'm kind of happy, excited, or calm, relaxing, confident. Okay, so she knows my tone. Now, when it comes to reading text, okay, author is trying to communicate with you. Remember the first line? He's trying to communicate with you. How would you understand his tone? What makes you understand what kind of mode author is in and what kind of mode is trying to convey? How do you understand author's tone? What gives you a clue to understand author's tone?
Ma'am,
How he
maybe his
frames the
words.
sentence.
Yeah, in sentences.
Yes, sentences, words, right? So let's have a quick activity here. Absolutely correct, guys. Now let's understand this. Diksha, read these 3 sentences.
Sit in the sunshine and smile. Bask in the brilliant rays. Discover your giggle. Sit in the hot sun and smoke. Recline in the glaring rays. Hunt for that snicker. Sit in the warm sun and grin. Relax in the warm rays. Look for a chuckle.
Okay. So Diksha, do they look similar, identical, pretty
Yes,
close?
ma'am. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
But still, somewhere you understand there's a change in the tone of the author. Right? There's a little change. Not all the sentences are sounding alike. Okay, so let's understand that with a little bit of clue here. So I'm displaying 3 tones where you can actually match these sentences to that and pay attention to the words you used. Okay, so you can match them to joyful, maybe playing in a park on a sunny day, relaxing or sarcastic and negative. Can you match them? Anybody can do that. You can take the numbers as say 1, 2, 3, and then here A, B, C. Match them in the. You can send the message in the chat box as well. Sit in the sunshine and smile, bask in the brilliant rays, discover your giggle. Sit in the hot sun and smoke, recline in the glaring rays, hunt for that snicker, sit in the warm sun and grin, relax in the warm rays. So look for those words which tells you something about the tone. So I got the first response from Saran, says 1A, 2C, 3B. Superb, Saran. Superb. And Nalini? Yeah, beautiful, guys. Keep going. That's correct. Absolutely. Now, Saran, can you tell me why did you choose 1 as A here? Why 1A? What made you think it's a joyful tone? What words helped you to think so? Can you tell me the words? You need to identify the words. It's all about words, guys. Remember? RCs or vocabulary is everything about words.
Ma'am,
And
he was praising the sun rays, basking the brilliance of rays. So I felt that was a little joyful.
Absolutely right. So what happens here is you can pick these words which are kind of very positive words, right? The giggle, brilliant. So they're kind of very positive tone, joyful mode. Similarly, when you say smirk, recline, And hunt, snicker, these words convey, they're very negative and sarcastic in nature. And the third one definitely is relax, chuckle. These words convey the tone. So this is the beauty of words, guys. So you don't see the author, you can't listen to the author, but you understand the tone of the author by just looking at the kind of words he's using. So the choice of words of the author makes you understand the tone of the author. Very, very important when it comes to RCs in competitive exams. Yes, Ashish, I got your response. That's a beautiful response. Discover your giggle describes the author is joyful. Yeah. So when we talk about the tone, it is one of those important question types, just like the main idea and the topic. So we are covering one more question model here, author's tone. Now let's do a quick activity once again with the next slide. So this is one example where it tells you different tones again. Okay, so this is called shabby apartment example. So Sarin and Diksha, you can share statements here. Sarin, you can read the first statement. Sarin, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
This place may be shabby, but since both of my children were born while we lived here, it has a special place in my heart.
Yeah. So what kind of tone is the author exhibiting here?
He's
Sentimental?
tolerating the place, I guess.
Sentimental. Diksha says sentimental.
Sentimental.
Okay.
Yes, it's sentimental.
Sentimental. Nali also says sentimental. Now pick up the words that tell you the tone is sentimental.
A special place in my
Special
heart.
place in my heart.
Absolutely.
My heart.
Correct. Super. So let's do the second example. One of you will read the second statement.
Ma'am, I think he's being optimistic. Second statement.
Optimistic.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Manish says optimistic. Disha agrees. Is there any other answer other than optimistic here? Think carefully. This isn't the greatest apartment in the world, but it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad.
Humorous, maybe.
Yes, see.
See, tolerant. Though it is in this condition, still I'm bearing that, right? So that you're tolerating, right? It's tolerant. Okay. Next one. If only there were some decent jobs out there, I wouldn't be reduced to living in this miserable dump.
Ma'am, I think it's bitter.
Bitter.
Bitter. And what word made you feel that's bitter tone?
I think that miserable dump.
Very good, very good. See, you're on track. Guys, even before you start answering the RCs, you should know the fundamentals of reading comprehension. Okay, straight away go open your RC and then main idea, theme. No, that's not it should happen. Okay. So tell me dear.
But the second sentence, it even sounds optimistic, right?
It sounds optimistic. You have to choose the best option here. Now put yourself there. This isn't greatest apartment in the world. Okay, but it's not really that bad, meaning you're tolerating it. I will show you an example for optimistic in the next slide here. See how it sounds, optimistic tone. This place does need some repairs, but I'm sure the landlord will be making improvements sometime soon. Though it is in a bad condition, it's still waiting for the repairs to be done. Now, how does it sound? Does it sound optimistic now? Yes? Yes or no, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, see the difference. Now, can you say, that is in a bad condition, so I'm tolerating it. Okay, I'm not waiting for anything to happen. I'm just tolerating it. Okay, this again, the situation is in a bad condition, but still, I'm hoping that something good may happen soon. Right? That's the difference of the tone. Now, next one. When we move away, we're planning to release 300 cockroaches in 2 miles so we can leave the place exactly as we found it. What kind of tone is it?
Humorous.
Humorous, obviously, right? So it's very clear. Now, this is the apartment we live in. It provides shelter.
Objective.
Objective. So remember, guys, when it comes to reading comprehension, when somebody says objective, meaning it's very neutral. It just gave a little piece of information. That's it. Objective, when it comes to reading comprehension, meaning it's a neutral tone. Okay. Now let's understand author's purpose. Are we clear with the topic and main idea? Then we did a couple of examples, a couple of slides on author's tone. Now we're going to do author's purpose. Guys, I want you all to quickly recollect the previous module on presentation skills. Right. Now, when we say that when you have a presentation, you can either, for example, let's imagine Saran is selling a product to you. Okay. Now, Saran, what do you want your customers to do after you give a presentation about your product? What do you want to do? What do you want them to do
They
after?
like
Yeah.
accept the product or like feel interested.
Yeah, feel interested or buy the products, something like. So the basic, what was your main aim? Like before you started the presentation, what was the purpose of your presentation?
It
What,
was
what,
to get more like people into the thing, like as many people as I can, their
so you,
attention, like grab as many
correct,
people's
pay
attention.
attention, grab their attention, and they listen to you, they buy your product, right? Yes. Now think of an actor, all of you think of an actor. When an actor is presenting in a movie or a drama stage, wherever he is, what is his main purpose? Why does an actor, act? What is the main purpose of an actor when he's
To
presenting?
make his role feel more believable.
So what is that for the as a viewer, as an audience? How does it benefit me? What do you get if I watch something like that? Entertainment, right? Actors act to entertain people, right? So when you want to sell something, you want to convince people, you want to persuade people, you want people to listen to you, right? Similarly, when I'm teaching you all, what would be my intention? What is the purpose of my class? As a faculty, what is my purpose? What is my purpose of my presentation? What am I trying to do here? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to give you some information, right? Now, guys, exactly just like the presentation skills, we have the same as reading comprehension, or when you want to do writing skills, it's the same wherever it is. Be it a reading comprehension, when you have an author's writing, he writes for three purposes, the same purposes just like the presentation skills, okay? So an author writes to either inform or educate, okay, to persuade or to argue, to entertain or to tell a story. These are the major purposes of an author, okay? Now let's understand this with a quick example here. So Sarin, can you please read this? And Diksha, you read the second slide, okay? Sarin, read this slide. So you need to identify why the author wrote this piece of information. Go ahead, dear.
A cliche is a commonly used phrase that expresses a particular idea or sentiment. Most of us use cliche in our day-to-day speech without even realizing it. For example, the phrase "an axe to grind" is believed to come from popular story by Benjamin Franklin, while the works of Shakespeare have been the source of countless other phrases that have been that have been come cliche.
That in this the word that have become cliches, okay? Now tell me, Sarin, what's the author's intention here? Why did he write this? Did he write to entertain, to inform, to give an opinion, to influence, or to tell a story?
Informative.
Informative. See, simple. When you looked at this passage itself, majority of you might have guessed it. The author wrote this to inform people, the audience, okay, the readers. Now let's understand this. Diksha, go ahead with the next paragraph here. Pay close attention here. They look quite identical, but there's a twist again. Diksha, go ahead dear.
Is a commonly used phrase that expresses a particular idea or sentiment. Most of us use cliches in our day-to-day speech without even realizing it. Phrases are considered to be cliche when they become overused. Because these phrases are so widely overused, the original sources of many cliches have been long forgotten. Since cliches are overused and unoriginal, they are an indication of lazy thinking.
Okay, Diksha, what do you feel the author's purpose is here? I know they both the passages look quite identical, but there's a twist I told you, right? That makes I got one response from Cyril. No, dear, I know that most of you will.
Historical background.
Definitely the author mentioned a bit of the origin of cliches, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. I'll give you a clue. Okay, look at the last statement, which is an assertion, an argument, as an evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the purpose of the author is to argue a point. He is putting forward his perception here, his thoughts here. He's trying to convince people. He wants people to think in the same way he's thinking. He says that they're overused and unoriginal, so they're indication of lazy thinking. That's not a fact. It's not a fact, right? This is what the author thinks. So we say it's an to argue point. This is an argumentative in nature. Okay. Now, if you guys can understand the tone and the purpose, you'll be able to understand the types of passages very easily, which is again another type of RC question. Okay. Are we clear with the tone and purpose? Are you able to follow how to identify the tone of a passage of the author and how to identify why the author wrote this? What is the purpose? What was his intention? Is he trying to convince people? Is he trying to entertain like the novels and the magazines, or is he trying to provide some information just like your textbooks? Okay. Now, you have to be prepared for any kind of text in the competitive exams, or be it a campus recruitment, right? So let's understand the next topic for today. What kind of passages do we have? Okay, so let's put them into broad categories like argumentative or persuasive, narrative, factual, expository, or informative. Both all mean the same, analytical and descriptive. So the name itself tells about argumentative and persuasive. Please do not think that argumentative not meaning you're fighting with someone. Argumentative is like you're trying to make people convince, or you want people to think in your own direction. That's what the author does here. Okay. Now, coming to narrative and descriptive, very close. Okay. So when we say narratives are also descriptive more, but when we say descriptive paragraphs, they stick to one main idea. Narrative, we have the complete idea. For example, if at all I'm trying to write about a biography, it's a narrative. It's in a descriptive pattern, it's a narrative. Descriptive, you focus on one idea. For example, if you take the donut example, okay, sorry, donut. So donut, when you write the process of making a donut, it is descriptive, right? If you write in and out of donuts, its history, origin, and then donut shapes, flavors, and sales, and everything, that becomes narrative. Okay. And then factual, expository, infant, they all mean the same, where you have this text full of facts, statistics, lots of direct information. Okay. So all your textbooks are of this nature. Okay. And then analytical, there's a difference between argumentative and analytical. Okay. Analytical, this author gives the pros and cons, and the decision is left to you. Okay, he just analyzes the topic and he leaves it to you. It's your choice. Okay, so he doesn't say this is good, this is bad. He doesn't argue. Okay, so let's understand this, quickly match these statements here to explain some events or personal experiences. A series of events and personal experiences. Which type of passage would you pick? Match it quickly, guys. Is it argumentative, narrative, factual, or analytical?
Narrative.
Narrative, okay. Next one. 1 second. To describe a place, person, thing, or event in a great detail. Just one person.
Narrative.
Only one
Factual,
person.
ma'am.
It's only one person. You're describing a person, you're describing a thing. For example, if I ask you to describe how your smartphone looks, you're talking only about your smartphone. Okay, if you want to describe your best friend, then it becomes descriptive. Okay, you don't have series of events or series of incidents. Okay, in great detail again. Remember, you're focusing on only one idea in great detail. Okay. Now, to impart information to the reader in a logical and objective manner, along with some facts and figures. You give information with lots of statistics. What is it?
Informative.
Factual.
Yeah, factual, informative, expository. That's correct. Yes, Diksha, it's your answers, dear. Next, to convince the reader of some particular beliefs and opinions regarding a subject.
Argumentative.
Argumentative, that's correct. And the last one is to explain arguments and examples for examining a topic from all angles. So you examine from all the angles.
Analyze.
Analyze. Analytical. Okay. Now let's do one more slide so that you understand the concept better. Okay. Similarly, see this. So what kind of text structure, what kind of passage is this? Novels, anecdotes, autobiographies, histories, etc.
Narrative.
Narrative. Yes, correct. Next one. Advertisements, reviews, complaint letters.
Argumentative.
Argumentative or persuasive in nature. You try to convince people, or you want people to let them know your pain, right? Now, news stories, instruction manuals, research papers, and reports. You have everything straightforward information.
Descriptive.
Informative.
Informative, factual, expository. Okay. Now, tourist guides, journals, and magazines. Try to recall the tourist guides with like Charminar and about Birla Temple.
Descriptive.
Descriptive, right. So the last one is newspaper editorials, technical reports, magazine articles. Analytical, that's the last one left, right? So these technical reports, they analyze, okay, what went wrong or what is correct, what is wrong. Okay, magazine articles also, they understand the pros and cons. They don't put their opinion forward. Try to read some editorials to understand that. Okay, so that's about the type of passage. So now that you know the tone and purpose, you now understand the next phase, which is type of passage, how the passage looks, what kind of category it fits in. Now it's the author's choice how he should structure his passage. He can follow any order depending on the type of the passage. So let's have quickly, I will read out the passage, you just guess the answer, okay? So I'm giving you some text. The dodo bird used to roam in large flocks across America. Interestingly, the dodo wasn't started by a gunshot. Because of this, frontiersmen would kill entire flocks in one sitting. Unable to sustain these attacks, the dodo was hunted to extinction. Is it compare and contrast, cause and effect, spatial or descriptive? What kind of text structure is the author following here? Is he comparing and contrasting? Comparing
Cause and
means when
effect. No?
cause and effect. Absolutely wonderful. See there, what is the cause and what is the effect? Finally, the dodo birds
Extinct.
extincted, right? So next one is compare and contrast, guys. Remember, comparing is you tell what if at all you have two things to compare, meaning you tell what are the similarities between them, and contrast, how are they different from one another. Okay, now let's understand one more example here. Jack and Jill ran up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Is it compare and contrast, cause and effect, or chronological? Chronological means depending on the time. If at all you put the structure according to the time an event happened, that is called chronological.
Cause and effect.
C is correct. Somebody mentioned that it is
Chronological.
Chronological, yeah. So who is this? Let me check the name. Ruchita. Yeah, that's correct here. Okay, next one. Are we ready with the next? We have 7 types of text. We have to be quick, okay? Here are the 3 worst things that you can do on a date. First, you could tell jokes that aren't funny and laugh really hard to yourself. This will make you look bad. Worse, though, you could offend your date. One bad joke may cause your date to lash out at you, hence ruining the engagement. But the worst thing that you can do is to appear slovenly, but not showering and properly grooming. You may repulse your date, and this is the worst thing that you can do. So what is it? Is it cause and effect, order of importance, or problem and solution?
Problem.
Think well. First, second, you're telling how when
Cause
you
and
use
effect.
it. Cause, you should have a particular cause, and what is the kind of impact you have, that is cause and effect. Okay. Now, if you look at this, we are trying to prioritize things. First, this is the first thing, the bad thing that you can do, worse and worse. So you're telling about the priorities. So order of importance. Okay. Look at the keywords like this. Next, Linux and Windows are both operating systems. Computers use them to run programs. Linux is totally free and open source, so users can improve or otherwise modify the source code. Windows is proprietary, so it costs money to use, and users are prohibited from altering the source code. Is it compare and contrast, cause and effect, or spatial descriptive?
Compare and contrast.
Compare and contrast, because we're comparing two operating systems here. Okay. Now I'm just giving you an example, guys. So you should be able to, whenever you read a text, see how the author wrote the text. What structure did the author follow? What kind of passage is this? Is it providing us information? Is the author trying to argue a point? Is it piece of text trying to entertain us? Right? Thousands of people die each year in car accidents involving drugs or alcohol. Lives could be saved if our town adopts a free public taxi service. By providing such a service, we could prevent intoxicated drivers from endangering themselves or others. Is it descriptive, order of importance, or problem and solution?
Problem and solution.
Problem and solution.
Absolutely, it's very clear. There's a problem and the solution provided at the end. Okay, next one. We have two more to go. Are you all, guys, please, I will share the PPT at the same time. You also try to analyze text, whatever text you read, okay? Now, eating cereal is easy. First, get out your materials. Next, pour your cereal in a bowl, add milk and enjoy. Is it descriptive, sequence and process, or problem and solution?
Process.
Sequence and
Process, because what's first, next what happens, and the next what happens. Okay. Now, don't get confused with the sequence and process and order of importance. Order of importance is when you set your priorities. Okay, first this, second this. That's what you do in your daily schedule as well, right? Next one. When you walk into my bedroom, there's a window facing you. To the right of that is a dresser and television. On the right side of the window is my bed. Is it descriptive, problem, solution, cause and effect?
Descriptive.
Descriptive, because you're describing your how to reach your bedroom, right? Very good, guys. So have you all understood this till here? Yes, guys? Have you understood how, once you know the type of passage and the author, how he puts the text in a particular order? So everything is very systematic. You don't read any text which is unorganized in the competitive exams. Okay, now all these skills are important when you start doing your writing skills, guys. We use the same strategy, same kind of content, even for writing skills. So stay focused, try to revise, read a lot, try to analyze the text structure, type of passage, try to understand the tone of the author. Okay, so I'll just walk you through these types of RC questions. We're not going to do this in detail today. We're going to start solving RCs the next week. Okay, so when we talk about RC questions, you have these 7 categories, like the central theme, vocabulary, inference meaning reading between lines. So you do not find the text directly in the paragraph, but you need to infer. So you have to think between you have to understand what's given between lines. Okay, then the titles and tones packs, we already know what titles are, what tone is, vocabulary is contextual vocabulary. Now we're going to do a little more on themes the coming week. Okay, now facts are called referential questions. That means you have these answers directly available in the given passage. Okay, so the paragraph structure, which we already checked today. So I've listed out some sample statements, how each question look like when it comes to central theme and all this. You can just go through the PPT. This is only for your information. I put it here. Now let's end the session with a quick poll. Okay, and I want one of you to quickly summarize after the poll. Give me a minute here. You have just 5 questions. All you need to do is answer those questions. Identify the text structure. Okay, identify the text structure. The results of something are explained in what kind of text structure? Is it cause and effect, descriptive, order of importance? You have 2 minutes to answer this, guys. Only 5 questions. Start answering. Okay, for the guys who haven't received the poll, I'm displaying the questions on the screen. Okay. Is it visible? I got one message from one student.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. Answer these questions. See, when you don't get the poll, what you can do is you can raise a ticket. Cats know it, right? Raise a ticket and let's see what happens. It could be a technical issue. Please type in these answers. Okay, Ashish. Ashish, you give it as 1A, 2B, something like that. Like that. Yes, Diksha. Yeah. Diksha, I think you had the same problem in the last week, right? Diksha?
Yes, ma'am.
Even last week, I think you couldn't attend the poll, right?
Ma'am, last week I did attend the poll, ma'am.
Okay, one of the girls texted me like that. So, honey, you just raise a ticket, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Nalini, got your responses? Anirudh, I'm waiting for the next 3 questions, dear. Okay, shall we discuss this quickly now? Diksha, can you see the poll now? I relaunched it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now you can use that. I think it got stuck due to this connectivity. So I got only 46% of the votes. Hurry up. 15 more seconds. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the poll in another 4 seconds. Okay, so let's quickly discuss this. The results of something are explained, a cause and effect. Majority of gave the wrong answer. Result. What is the cause and what's the effect? The result is explained at the end. Okay. Information in the passage is organized in order of time is chronological. Majority of gave the right answer. 2 more things are described. The similarities and differences are discussed. Compare and contrast. Pretty direct. Information is expressed as a hierarchy or in priority as order of importance. A problem is described and a response or solution is proposed or explained is problem and solution. Except for the first question, majority of you gave the right answers. Thank you so much for the wonderful participation, Diksha, Saran, and I see a lot of response from Ashish and others. And I wish you could actually respond through voice. I think that makes the class even more engaging. Who's going to summarize the session quickly? We have 2 more minutes. Come on, come forward. Who would like, Saran, would you like to do that, dear? Saran, are you there?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Saran, could you quickly tell me what we covered in today's session?
Tones of how a sentence, like just using different words and framing it differently changes the meaning of it and context of it.
We'll be able to identify the author's tone henceforth?
Yes.
Okay. And
like different paragraphs and how to differentiate between informative ones and like if they're orderly placed, or like there are few more. I forgot the terms, but then I can look at them and tell you.
okay. So Saran, did you learn something new today?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it? What is it specifically?
Uh,
Which
how
slide did
to
you
dif-
enjoy the most? Huh?
There's nothing in particular.
Did you like everything?
Yeah, the class was entertaining.
Yeah. Entertaining or informative? It should be both.
It was both. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I have a very happy week ahead. Let's catch up with one more session in RCs with a lot of practice. So I want a lot of participation. Okay. So it's like continuously I'll play a lot of slides and then we keep on revising all the concepts. It's like a rapid fire. Okay. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Diksha. Yeah, bye.